Bitcoin is on an absolute tear right now, and it's great to see. It's almost time for your grandmother to tell you she's just bought her Bitcoin because she really believes in crypto, just because she thinks she can now make some money. And we're almost getting into that phase of where we start to get the FOMO investors come in that really drive the price up. But a lot of these guys are still kind of hurting from the crypto crash in 2022, where the kind of wealth distribution took money away from them and put it in the hands of those early investors. So if you have been watching this channel, you would have been one of those early investors. And to be fair, you've probably been one of those who've been holding crypto throughout this bear market, believing that it's gonna go up. And we're really starting to see that take fruition. Like, we've seen Bitcoin go up to the 57K mark now. We're fast approaching that all-time high. But in this video, we're going to be discussing the sort of headwinds that Bitcoin faces, who is investing in Bitcoin right now, and where do we go from here, and also the state of the altcoin market, because a lot of you probably are invested in altcoins as well, holding your favorite coins, waiting for those to go up. If you want to make an informed decision in this crypto market, knowing when things are going to happen, where the money is moving, like and subscribe, and I'll do my best to provide you information that you can make some money from. So let's get into it. So Bitcoin is absolutely on a tear. We haven't quite seen the same in a lot of the altcoins yet. They've kind of stagnated as Bitcoin and Ethereum are going on this absolute rise, but we do kind of know the market cycles, and that's something that we'll discuss a bit later, and when those altcoins and the large caps will start to see the rises. But let's start with Bitcoin. So Reddit actually proposed its IPO the other day, filing with the US securities, and actually they said that they have a large amount. With their IPO, they disclosed that they have an investment in Bitcoin and Ether, and this is again more companies just showing that they have actually invested in the crypto space. And Reddit is now one of the largest sites outside of Facebook and Google, with massive growth in their organic traffic over the last 2 years. Reddit is actually one of the largest sites with over 600 million users every month, which is insane. And with that disclosure, the Bitcoin and Ether price did go up, but I don't think it's just that. So if we actually see this article here from crypto.news, we can see that according to sentiment, the number of whale transactions consisting of at least $100,000 worth of Bitcoin increased from 9,067 to 13,142 unique traders over the last 24 hours. So we're actually seeing massive whale activity simply from these big whales investing in Bitcoin. So we're not quite at the stage yet where we are getting those FOMO retail investors, etc. We haven't actually seen the peak rise yet. This is just the beginning. So if we look at the Bitcoin interest over time, we can actually see that not much has really changed. We've started to see the interest come up, and obviously a little bit of peak around here, but realistically we're nowhere near the highs of where we were during the peak bull market last time. And this is where all the retail investors are getting involved, and this kind of backs up the fact that a lot of whales are getting invested, because really most of the populace still isn't in Bitcoin. So we're still very early, and these whales know more than us. Generally they will have access to more information, more data, just because they have the funds to do so, or they just know a little bit more than us. And that's what I'm trying to beat with this channel, just to give you the information that those guys have. But if we generally look at the market cycles in cryptocurrency, we are around this optimism phase, just before here really, because we still haven't got those retail FOMO investors coming in. Everyone's still a little bit salty from the last crypto bull market. So we're still very early in this phase, despite coming close to an all-time high. So we still have all of these phases left, and this is obviously where you want to get out. And we'll discuss later what that price prediction would be and when you need to start exiting the market. Now I think we are close to a pullback. We've blown through this fib retracement line, and we're heading towards the 59K mark, the 60K. And I believe that we're due a pullback around here somewhere. Maybe we'll drop back into this section here, I would expect. And if we just take a look at where we were in the last bull market, this kind of lines up where we were hitting around the all-time highs. And obviously where we did, we quickly fell back down. So I would expect a pullback here. So if you are looking to invest, I don't think this is a good time right now. I would wait for a bit of a pullback, because you can get in at a much better price. I would expect somewhere in this region just above 50K, between 50 and 55. If you are looking to get into Bitcoin. But I don't necessarily think that Bitcoin is the best investment right now. I do think that it's got a long way to go still. I at least think in this bull market we will hit 100k. So I would start to reduce my position in Bitcoin at around 100k. I'm not saying get out, but you don't want to be left holding the bag, because you only make profits if you sell. So if it does rally a bit more than that, at least you still have some exposure, but you're starting to thin your position. But nonetheless, we're still nowhere near bringing in that interest. Something to really keep an eye on is this interest chart, just seeing when those interests are starting to peak. If we see it hitting 100, close to 100, you know that everyone who's going to be involved in crypto in this bull market is already involved, and that's when you want to start reducing your positions as well. These are two key things to watch. Another thing, I believe the bull market will end around November, December, January, so this is also a time to look to reduce your positions. Again, I'm not saying get out, I'm just saying reduce your positions, reduce your exposure, because this is when I believe the market will start to pull back. So these are just three things to watch. Watch the interest over time on Google Trends, all three. Obviously watch those dates, so November, December, January. If any of these three align, that's when you know you need to start getting out. But what does it mean for the rest of the market? So you've definitely seen this chart before. This is the path to altcoin season, and we see money flow into Bitcoin. It would then flow into Ethereum, then into large cap stock, and then into altcoin season. I believe altcoin season has just started. I don't think we've seen much of it yet. Generally, those low cap ones haven't really pumped yet. There isn't those huge FOMO massive rallies, though we are starting to see it on a few coins as of yet. But we're now seeing all this money flow into Bitcoin. We'll then push into Ethereum, which we also have done, and then next we're going to see the large caps go up, like ICP, Render, Filecoin, Chainlink, etc. All of those will start to go up, and obviously Solana. I do think Solana is probably one of the best investments right now, just because I think it has at least a 5 or 6x from here, and it is just one of the safest bets. So if you are looking to buy anything right now, it's best to start looking into the altcoins and also the large caps. If you want to stick to something safe, obviously go for Solana. Even safer, you want to go for something like Bitcoin, because I do believe it has a huge rally to go, but you just need to wait for a bit of a pullback, because I think that is coming. We haven't seen any of those retail investors FOMO money coming in yet, so I do think we're due a pullback, and that money will flow into the large caps and the altcoins. So if you are holding those, you're going to see a rise. If you're not, it's still a good time to buy, and I have done some videos on the other altcoins that I think are great buys, so it's worth checking those out if you are stuck on something to buy. Obviously not financial advice, but these are just my opinions, and I generally see this market is quite easy to predict at this state, because it just keeps repeating the same thing in clockwork. So don't buy into those FOMO growths, just catch each part on its rise. But we are still in the smart money and the whale investment stage, so it is still a chance to make a lot of money in crypto. So don't be scared, just make some smart decisions and just rely on quality information instead of someone just telling you to buy anything and everything. Just knowing the market cycles and how the money moves is going to make you the money. And don't just FOMO into a project that you don't know. At least do some research if you are buying into anything that is an altcoin or a low cap or something that just has a lot of hype around but not much data. If you do like the video, guys, like and subscribe, because I am just deep diving into the data and the numbers of each project so you can make more informed decisions during this insane crypto bull market.